Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's If it wasn't obvious, I was kind of you know, very much over South Cypress, so it's a big breath of fresh air, you know. Yesterday was really good RP. Like I said it was a gruesome scene watching like Queenie like give all of her blood and then like concussed poorly, and then it was a shit show. Everyone was getting snippy with each other, and you know, it was really good RP. Sheriff, I'm not sure if you've. I was appointed deputy yesterday. I wasn't sure if you were aware or not.
So I have spoken about wanting to appoint you deputy, but it's slightly unusual.
Yes, I was appointed deputy by Marduk.
Oh, okay.
Spontaneously. Well, I don't know if it was spontaneous. There was a second town hall meeting called, and I was appointed.
It's unusual, but it's not completely unexpected.
I see.
I did mention to him that I wanted to make you a deputy, and I might be more unavailable just because I've been living in Migraine City recently, so it's questionable my attendance these next few days.
I see.
So maybe he felt the need for it in that moment.
I do hope you shall seek some relief from your migraines.
Oh yes, yes. I believe so. Okay, that's fine because I wanted you to be deputy anyway. But it is slightly unusual.
Yes, I did not question it.
Okay, good. Um okay, that's great. Is Wait, when was this?
This was before the attacks yesterday, maybe an hour before.
Okay, good, good. Do you have any questions about that?
I did speak to Founding Father Edgar, and I explained how I'm only a deputy and I work directly under the sheriff, and he
Mm-hmm.
explained how in your absence he needs me to step up and to fill a
That's
gap when
true.
you're not
That's
around.
true. That should be your job.
Yes, and that's all I shall do.
Okay, good.
I shall look for you for guidance in steering this ship in the right direction.
Yes. Okay, there's some stuff that we need to just get sorted to allow you to do that easier. The thing is, okay, one of the things is we need to get you keys to the admin trailer, although it's under construction, so I don't even know if it's accessible right now. I tried to access it the other day to put books in there, but it's under construction. Uh, okay, let me see.
Yeah, we can. There's no rush to work out all the logistics. I imagine it will take some time, but something bad did happen yesterday, Sheriff.
What was it?
Upon arriving at the evacuation site at the
Mm-hmm.
bus, we've established in Babylon that when a code 6 is called, that security take over.
Yes.
We must listen to their every command.
Yes.
Luciano, head of security department, made a call when explosions started going off at the evacuation site to move to Andy's camp. Skipper from Chrome department had Founding Father Edgar in his Chrome Giant, in his Iron Giant. He was unconscious. He was seriously injured. And we all
Wait,
departed.
what is that? What is a chrome giant?
Sorry, an Iron Giant with 4 wheels.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Or
Skipper had Edgar in his
he
vehicle.
might have been on his iron
What
horse
happened?
with 2 wheels. I'm not sure, but the point is that he had the Founding Father Edgar in a serious state,
Yes.
probably quite close to death.
Okay.
Now, Luciano made the call to go to Andy's camp, we all left and we got up there and we got to the fire and we started treating the injured. Like I said, we applied pressure, we removed objects, we did blood transfusions, we did everything we could, we kept them warm, we covered them in blankets, we protected them from the elements. Skipper did not turn up. It was later discovered that he had taken the founding father Edgar to the Old World Hospital in the city. He had also pulled out his musket and threatened...
Who did?
Skipper.
Okay.
He pulled out his musket and threatened an Old World doctor and demanded that they treat founding father Edgar.
I see.
This was then later discovered by us that this is, what happened to founding father Edgar, and trying to think of his name. Benny went to go get founding father Edgar and he brought him back to Babylon, and we continued the medical treatment from there on out. This was hours later.
Okay, so Skipper drove Edgar to the hospital during the whole evacuation thing?
Yes.
And then what? He was in there for like a couple hours, and then
Yes.
Benny picked him up and brought him back?
Yes, exactly.
I see.
I spoke to Skipper late last night. He was very remorseful. He believes he has broken the codex. And I do not disagree. However, other Babylonians were saying we should go to the hospital. It was Benny and Aaron. And this is because it appeared, yes, it appears that they said, and I asked Benny this, and I said, did Marduk say that a hospital can be used under dire circumstances? And he said yes. I was confused as to why the Babylonians kept recommending we go to the hospital. So, even if Marduk has said this, because these were dire circumstances, no doubt, the pulling out the musket puts Babylon in grave danger.
It's very...
That doctor will tell the police. The police will know we have muskets. This was supposed to be a secret.
Yeah, you're completely right.
Now I looked at the codex. Not that it matters too much, but I'm trying to learn, and we must know the codex.
No, I've been
unlike no
learning
other.
some lessons too recently, so I want to hear what you have to say here.
So, we must know the codex like the back of our hands. So
yes.
Now, initially, of course, Rule 1, Skipper would have... He relied on an outside institution. However, if Marduk did say this, that a hospital is permitted under dire circumstances, he is in no wrong. So I shall point your attention to Rule 7. Thou shalt not commit nor conspire to commit any harm towards any Babylonian institution or New Babylon itself. And it mentions about gross and extreme negligence.
Yes.
I
will say, I'm sorry, continue.
Even then, I would seek great counsel from Marduk, Edgar, Queenie, and yourself. Obviously, before these are only initial thoughts. I feel the pulling a musket on an old world doctor is extreme. It's unnecessary.
Yes. Harry, I've been learning some stuff recently as I've slowly had to essentially punish people or give them penance, whatever you'd like to call it. And here's what I've figured out. I feel like I struggled with the philosophy of how I need to approach this, especially in the beginning, with some cases, even one a few days ago. And I think I've got it figured out now, how we need to approach it. After speaking with Edgar, etc., maybe making some mistakes too. Now, New Babylon is small, so everybody we see, like, if we just give someone a fucking punishment, there's a chance that the actual like penance we give them, whether it's a pit, won't actually help them. Like it won't actually fix the problem if they don't get it. This being said, our job is to make sure the codex itself is properly followed.
Yes.
So there's two different things we need to do. One of them is, have you read the Codex Commentaria that Edgar recently, I guess, released a couple days ago? You know what I'm talking about?
I do not believe I've read it fully.
Okay, it's basically just a guide for people where it's like what to do if you witness an offense, if you see someone do something wrong. But there's a line in here which basically is exactly what I'm talking about, where when we charge someone with something, let's just call it a charge. Basically, we're acting as a judge also in that moment for especially a more minor offense. We're also just functioning as a judge. So we're essentially doing a trial where we're just judging something on the spot based on our findings. What it says in here on the third page, trials should be considered places appointed for those who need punishment and not for those who need enlightenment. What that means, and what I'm starting to realize, is what we actually need to do. If there's something in the codex that we are like 100% positive, like, hey, they fucked up here, and we both agree on it, that's it. Like, if you see it that way, we have to make sure they get told that, and they get a penance for it. So, for example, even if we're not sure if Edgar getting taken to the hospital is 100% like a break in the codex, but we are 100% positive that he should not have pulled a gun on that doctor, like without a doubt. There's no breezing past that. Like we have to address it. That's how we have to do it. The thing we can change is the penance. So telling him like the which codex tenant he broke is non-negotiable, we have to do it if we are 100% confident that that's what happened. That's our job. We don't brush past it. We have to do that. Like that's our job
yes.
here. It's the penance. That's the thing that we can bend and change depending on like how we think the best outcome should be.
I think I agree with everything you said, and I appreciate the insight. I do very much. I believe I
It's
have a
a
lot to
problem
learn
I
from
had.
you.
No, I mean, we'll have to learn from each other too. We're still pretty early here, but
Yes.
it's something I even learned with the thing Luciano did the other day, and I had a talk with Edgar about it, and it turns out I kind of fucked up, and I didn't realize that completely, but it's because my mentality was a little bit twisted because I'm just not like I've never been in a position like this before. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I'll give you an example. This is something that happened like 2 days ago. It was like 2 or 3 days ago. It was the day the blueprints got burned in the fire. A storm happened. Everybody walks out of the restaurant. A skipper is blowing on a fire that's spreading. Luciano's just like overseeing it as security, and he punches Skipper like on the back of the head or something like that. Skipper's like, "Ow, what did you hit me for?" And then Luciano says, "Why don't you fucking cry about it?" Later, Skipper came to me about this, and he's like, "What the hell's up with Luciano? Like, why is he doing this?" So I looked into it, and then Luciano later explained to me that the reason why he tried to like essentially shove Skipper out of the way and he hit him was because he was literally blowing on a fire, which causes fire to grow and not go away. It was a big fire.
I see.
So I thought about it, and in this moment, what I'm thinking was, what is the resolution here? And I couldn't think of one. I couldn't think of what the resolution was because his actions seemed to make sense. And yes, he did say, "Why don't you cry about it?" But like, there was a fire and the argument makes sense, and I couldn't figure out what's the resolution. But the actual problem was him saying, "Why don't you fucking cry about it?" is objectively wrong. And I even told him that. And I even told him which codex tenant it violated in that moment. but because I couldn't figure out an immediate solution on the spot to quote unquote fix it, I did not like officially charge him with it, which is flawed. It doesn't actually matter, and honestly, if we can't think of a penance for it in the moment, we don't need to come up with one, but I feel like there's a better word for it. If there's something that is like in your mind is inarguable that they broke in the codex, you have to address it. And it's non-negotiable. But the penance is negotiable. Like, it could be small. It can even be something like go teach 6 people a lesson. Or just like a small fine.
The thing is now I'm curious to hear what you think about this, but Skip is a member of, he works for the Chrome department. So I believe he is I'm not sure whether he is part of the reserves. I'll have to look into that. I'm
actually not sure either.
But if he isn't, then he has purchased a musket through the blacksmith of his own will, along with his license. And in my opinion, he has incorrectly used it. Not just in Babylon, even worse, in the old world.
You're right.
And I believe his punishment, I believe once Blacksmith Speedy hears about this, I believe he would want to suspend Skip's license and take away his musket. For a period, for X amount of time, I imagine.
That's our job. It is up to Speedy if he... It's up to Speedy if he wants to decide not to give someone a musket or something like that, but part of our job is to, like, take away stuff like that. We have the full authority to do it.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. I do know that I'm not sure whether it's security or the blacksmith, but they can also take away people's licenses and firearms. They have like this gun club. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a gun club.
But yeah, of course we can also do that too. Is everything okay?
Here's something in the water.
I'm quite the fan of water.
I don't see anything.
It looks clear, Sheriff.
Maybe this guy's just got like really wet boots or something.
I think you would also agree, getting back on topic, that someone's intentions is a very important part of everything. Now, I believe Skip acted with good intentions. He was trying to save Founding Father Edgar's life.
Yes, but that affects the penance.
I agree.
Not the act, because we have to, like, negligence is a big part here. He just wasn't careful. Is like the reality.
Well, he risked the whole of Babylon. He has indirectly, without meaning to, put Babylon in danger.
Exactly.
Like waving a musket around that we are supposed to be keeping secret.
Stupid. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yes. So he must be punished.
I completely agree.
I guess our penance will be that he was acting in good faith. There was a reason. Doesn't mean it's right. But yes, I don't think we'll nail him to a spike, for example. He was trying to do something he thought was going to save a founding father.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's not like... I mean, yeah, he's holding a doctor up, but like, when are they like, we don't treat people?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, when is that happening?
It's extreme.
It's
illogical, extreme, and goofy. Because the doctor... Do you think the doctor's going to refuse to treat a dying man? I don't believe so.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's not about being goofy or not. It's just about like the actual risks on paper, and there could have been many, and it's that easy. Okay, just to clear you up on the gun stuff, I will get you access to the security trailer. It's like a storage armory trailer if you don't have access to that. I don't know if there is one yet, but the idea is we're supposed to have a book in there of every weapon in circulation, and then every person who has a license or is security, etc. And then we're also making a list of, say, people who we've decided are banned from buying weapons. That would be like something me and you decide. So then the idea is anytime Speedy's like selling someone a gun, he would check the list first. And then if they're on the banned list, then he doesn't sell them one. But he can also just decide himself.
I see.
He just like doesn't
Yes.
trust someone or something.
Yes.
He's
Well,
also got that
once I have
call.
access, I shall help you build such a file. So
Okay, good.
completing these
I'll
documents.
yeah, the primary ones are going to be that one, but I don't think that exists yet at all. And then the other one is I have a master copy of a log where I just essentially write a little report for anyone who I've fined or anything like that. Like anyone who I've has been given a penance for a codex violation. I'll give you an example. This is my personal one where I basically just copy everything from that into the master copy, just so I don't have to keep going in there and like editing it. I can edit it and like write in it wherever, and then I just copy it all over. Then the idea is you will also have one of these. So if you give someone a fine, you would write it all in your own book, and then you would just also copy it into the master copy.
I see. I see. Yes. Write down some notes on
It'll
what happened, then the codex that was
just
broken, then the what
yeah.
the punishment given out. I understand.
So yeah. So obviously you'd question everyone on what happened, and then you'd eventually say decide if they violated the codex or not. If they did, you tell them that you would say, hey, your actions are in violation of, say, thou shalt not commit nor conspire to commit any harm towards any Babylonian institution or New Babylon itself, and this will be your penance. You can also say your penance will be determined in a little bit because maybe you haven't made up your mind yet, but I wouldn't try to put those too far apart, but it is okay to wait if you don't immediately have something. Or you can just say, please hold, and then you just officially address it in a little bit, like the whole thing. And that's kind of that. The actual note, just write it from your point of view, based on what you understand and stuff. You don't have to directly quote anybody. It's just based on your entire point of view. I would suggest when you're actually questioning people, you at least take personal notes sometimes of some things they say, like verbatim, but that's not necessary all the time, but it is useful if someone like brings it up later.
Yeah. Skip hasn't actually been officially questioned. I mean, the thing is, this happened late last night. There was way more important things to be doing than just springing an investigation.
Yeah, I get it.
Even now, I'm just doing a quick catch up with you. I mean, look at the Babylonians. Look,
I see it.
look,
I see it.
they're currently trying to rebuild and make this place secure. So, I don't even think we have time to do this at the moment. But once things are safe and locked down and back to normal, I think we have to pick this up urgently.
I do agree.
I
do
would
agree.
I think we should question Skip together, as he will need to be questioned.
Yeah, the only thing I would also recommend is which I'm sure you understand, I would try and question at least two people, like quote unquote the victim of whoever we're giving a penance to, and maybe just one bystander. Just so we have something.
Uh,
That being said though, um every single penance you give someone, you are taking the responsibility of, if you're wrong, then you pay the price. That being said, typically the price is probably just going to be you might get reprimanded or you might just get their punishment but a bit more or something. But everything we do, you're kind of just, making a call. and everybody has the choice to appeal it, and there's always a chance that we could be wrong.
Of course. Well, where do the judges come into this? Because I would like to. Is Queenie a judge? Is she a trial judge? Do we even have judges? Can we get clarification
Okay,
through the
so
judges?
at the moment, I think Queenie is technically a judge, but it's all very vague. Honestly, how it works is if it's okay, if it's like something crazy, like someone killed another Babylonian, that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I think we would both agree that should go like straight to trial. And our
Yes.
position would just be to like indefinitely detain them. That's something we'll understand immediately if it happens, right?
Of course.
Um, and I'm sure Lang will get involved, Queenie will get involved without a doubt over something like that. If it's something where it's just like somebody stole or something like that, well, depending on what they stole, we can just act on it. Some things people might want to appeal, and the process is after we, I'm just going to say, charge someone and then they pay their penance or whatever. Everybody has the option to go to Andy for counseling, and also she's the person to go to for essentially where they would tell her like was how we treated them like justified, stuff like that. And
I
also if they want
see.
to appeal a punishment or something like that,
And
they
that's
would
when
bring
the
it up with
judge would
her
get
first.
involved.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you're like, hey, um, you violated our tenant, thou shalt not commit nor conspire to commit any harm or injury to any Babylonian because you stole this person's watch or something like this. Actually, does stealing even fall under that one? I've never. I mean, that is. Uh, I guess it would be. I guess it could be considered the other one too, because that's like. I guess if it's a personal item, it would be that one. Anyway, it does. Anyway.
But Harry B can seek counsel from Queenie at my discretion whenever I want to.
Yes, you can. But if
Okay.
someone's like, hey, if you're like, hey, you stole this and this is your fucking punishment, and they're like, no, I want a trial. Um, you are completely within your right to say no. Go fucking appeal it.
Okay.
Especially if it's something that you think just needs a punishment. If
Yes.
someone's trying to get sassy and like power trip you and be like, I want a trial, you can say no.
I see. Yes, I shall. I shall hope I never have to speak to a fellow Babylonian like that. That is not my nature. However, I do feel like testing times are coming.
I had to the other day with Paulie. He wanted to he basically was not following what Edgar was saying the other day. He essentially broke the chain of command, kind of. It was kind of a minor gray area, but he was like, I disagree with this. I want a trial. And I was just like, appeal it then. Your fine's 5 Babylari.
See.